Do Bauer holders have more forward pitch than CCM holders? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a testing video where I will provide a conclusion and some final thoughts, much the same as Jerry Springer might. So I'll be using the services of one of my buddies, Steven, and props to him for helping make this video. So the title of this video is maybe something you've thought of, maybe it isn't, but it has been the topic of our conversation for a little bit now that we're kind of suspect that there might be more of a forward pitch on the Bauer tuck edge holders over the CCM XS holders. But, not really a way to test that until recently. And essentially what happened is, so Steven and I, we both wear a CCM FT4 Pro Jet Speed skate, size 8. However, I wear a wide variant and he wears a regular variant. His particular skates, he got used, which is its own separate funny video that I'll have to make about why you might want to avoid pro stock skates. But on his skates that he got, they actually came with the Bauer tuck edge holders. And so we now have an opportunity to try out the same profile, same steel, same sharpening, and all that good stuff. And he can be my guinea pig to let me know if he feels any kind of difference. So obviously watching this video, you're not really going to be able to visually see a difference. You're just going to have to kind of listen to him talk through it. But I will kind of weigh in at the end of what I think, some things you might consider after watching the footage here. So just to give you a little bit of a rundown on what we're using. So we're going to have two sets of skates. They're going to have the exact same profile on it with the exact same sharpening, which is a 5/8. The profile I think we had a whole bunch of profiles that day, but I'm pretty sure it's a CAG 1 profile that we're using. But on the Bauer tuck edge holders, the steel that's in that pair of skates has the CAG 1 profile, and it has a neutral pitch, which means that we're just using the geometry of that profile to get our inherent forward pitch. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be flat-footed, it just means that we're not adding any additional forward pitch to that particular profile. On the CCM skates that have the XS holders on them, I did have a minor forward pitch added to the geometry of the CAG 1 profile. So in theory being in air quotes, the CCM with the XS holders on it should feel like it has a bit more forward pitch to it than does the CCM with the Bauer tuck edge holder that has the neutral pitch. So this video is, we're going to find out. And I think that one of the things that you might consider while watching this is, if you have a preference towards a Bauer or a CCM boot, maybe why is the question you want to ask yourself. I hear a lot of people say that they prefer Bauer skates because they offer more of a forward pitch. And then there's a lot of CCM people that say, it feels like a very neutral, flat-footed boot, or you're on your heels. And so we're trying to figure out, is that actually the boot or is that the holder? And you can chalk that up to profile too, but the majority of people aren't getting profiles, and there's something else coming in the future about that, but we can tease you with it for now. So anyways, let's get into the video footage of Steven testing out the skates, and we'll see how it goes for him, and then I will pop back in and talk about some thoughts at the end here. Okay, welcome back to the Guitar Slinger Hockey Channel. We got an interesting experiment here today. So our friend Steven here is going to be testing out whether or not there is more of a pitch on a CCM XS holder or a Bauer tuck edge holder, whatever you want to call it. So we got the same profile, the same sharpening, and same size everything. And do you have a prediction, Steven, which one's going to have more of a pitch on it?
I definitely think the tuks have more of a forward pitch.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, I've skated in your skates and I felt pretty neutral in them, but we've never done it back to back. So.
Okay, yeah, and here's the other interesting part. So the profile on the CCM skates actually has a forward pitch that's been profiled into it, and the steel on the tube holders has a neutral pitch on it, so no forward pitch at all, but it has the same profile, which is a CAG1 profile. So we're gonna find out. Steven's gonna try out both these skates and we're gonna see what happens. So let's go give it a shot. All right, Steven, we're gonna debunk this today. We're gonna find out if the Bauer tuck edge holders really do have more forward pitch. So go give it a skate. I know you're in my wide ass skates, but let's see what happens.
Okay. So, pitch. Man, I don't know if I can chalk it up to pitch, but something is very different.
Okay.
I mean, like, obviously I have the regular width skates, and you have the wider skates.
Wide.
Right?
They're ample, if you must know.
So I definitely can feel that, but I don't know. Maybe the pitch is good. I can't definitively say. I feel like I'm falling backwards, which is when I first tried these skates on like a year ago. That's what I felt like. I felt like I was like walking uphill. So I definitely don't feel that.
Okay.
These maybe do feel a little bit more neutral though. So I don't know. Should we try 1 and 1? Like
we could definitely do that. So right now, what we're saying is that the retail CCM skates with their excess holders, those have the quad zero profile on them, and they also have a forward pitch baked into there. And your custom CCM FT4 jet speeds, they have the Bauer tuck edge holders and quad zero with a neutral pitch. And you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, they still feel, and those skates that you're wearing right now, my retail ones, maybe still feel slightly more neutral? Slightly more neutral.
So I guess to back it up, I was in the 2X Pros before, and when I went from 2X Pros to wearing these FT4s, it felt like I was walking uphill.
Interesting.
Now going from my FT4s to your FT4s, it does feel a little bit more neutral, just going off of memory, but it doesn't feel as dramatic.
Okay.
So
let's try the one skate, two different skates. Like one skate on one foot, the other on the other. All right, we've gone to drastic measures. So we have your skate on and my skate on. So which skate is which?
This is my skate on the right foot. The left foot is yours.
Okay. Now we got to figure out, is there a pitch difference?
I don't know if you want to hear this, but I think there is.
I don't care personally. I'm just curious.
Okay, you might even be able to see it if you come to the door. Like, so we're in the same profile, and the CCM has the forward pitch, right? But if I come back, like, there's a lot of play before I can like get my heel down.
Yeah.
Like the toes coming up a lot. And then on this side, with the same profile, I feel like I don't get nearly the toe movement. Like my toe's not coming nearly as high before my heel's planted.
Weird.
Versus.
Okay, well it is what it is, right?
This, I mean, again, I don't know how scientific that is, but
it's quite.
I can feel a pretty noticeable difference right now.
All right. All right, so c'est la vie. Do you want to try skating in it, or do you even need to? Do you feel like you're going to die skating in those two different skates?
I can definitely tell I'm wearing two different skates.
Nice.
Yeah, the heel is just not where I want it to be.
All right, so do you feel like we're debunked that the Bauer tuck edge holder is slightly more pitched forward?
Maybe I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to say that the forward pitch exists on the two holders.
Okay, well, there it is. Well, I'll put my a tinfoil hat on maybe, and we can go from there. So, all right, well, thanks for testing. Peace out. Okay, you've made it to the end of the video. So a couple of things came to my mind as I was kind of shooting this video. At one point during the video, I mentioned that he was skating in a quad zero profile. He was not. Just wanted to clarify that. Both sets of skates had a CAG 1 profile on them because obviously, if one had one style of a profile and the other one had a different, the skates would not feel the same. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. The other thing I wanted to mention too that I thought was kind of important is that Steven has typically speaking used what's called a box profile. And that's just a fancy word for buying a brand new set of steel, sharpening them, snapping them into your holders and skating. So basically, there's steel that have been sharpened but not profiled, no forward pitch, nothing like that. They're just sharpened and you go. And so I think it's interesting that while he's been wearing Bauer skates with Bauer holders, he's typically been wearing using steel that has not been profiled and has not had forward pitch added to it. And recently he's been wearing or using the a Ellipse Zero profile while using his current CCM skates with the Bauer holder on them. So and he's recently come back to using a box profile. So I think that's important to note because he hasn't been using anything that had a forward pitch to it. I think that's pretty important to know. Okay, so let's get into the conclusion and the final thoughts part of this. And so basically, I know it's hard to see by watching the video. It's kind of you can't just watch video and see forward pitch or not see forward pitch. So I get that. But I think it's interesting to hear his comments because Steven does know, he's got a good sense for when something feels right or wrong with his equipment. He doesn't always know what specifically is causing it or what he likes or what he doesn't like, but he can tell when there's a difference, and not everybody can. And so that's why I thought he'd be a good person to bring out and have this and do this test. Plus, he wore the same skate size as me. So I hear a lot of comments about people, they like Bauer skates because they offer more forward pitch than CCM. You hear a lot of players say, I don't really like CCM. I mean, they're kind of neat, but I feel flat-footed or feel like I'm on my heels or whatever, so I like to go with Bauer. And what could be happening is that it's actually the Bauer holder that you like if you're a Bauer person, and maybe not so much the boot. Maybe that's not really what's going on. In a perfect world, you would be buying the boot, whether it's True, Bauer, CCM, doesn't matter, that fits your foot the best, and then you just add whatever profile suits your skating style. Most people don't do that, though. They kind of throw their foot in it. Does it hurt? It's okay. I guess I can live with this. And, they'll get out there, and if it's a CCM skate, they'll be like, God, I feel like I'm on my heels, or I feel like I'm on my arches, or whatever. And they'll get on Bauer skates, and they'll be like, oh, well, these kind of hurt my feet, but I like the forward pitch that they give me. And kind of looking back at my own skating style, all the CCM skates that I've ever had have had the Bauer holders on them because honestly, until recently, until the XS holders came to be, CCM wasn't making very good holders in my personal opinion. Where does that leave us? Well, it gives you a couple of options. If you are that player that's like, well, the CCM, I really like the way it fits my boot, but I don't want to be flat-footed, you have a couple of options. Option number one is just simply go to your pro shop and go to your local pro shop and have them put on a Bauer holder onto your CCM skates. The rivet holes will line up. It shouldn't be that hard to do. A lot of cases it might cost you a couple of $100s though, so you should be aware of that. But I think the thing that makes the most sense is to have your skates profiled, and then in addition to the profile that you choose, you'll want to ensure that you have a significant amount of forward pitch added to your skates, because clearly there is a difference between the XS holders and the Bauer tuck edge holders regarding that forward pitch. If you're somebody who is skating in the Bauer skates, this is probably a situation where you probably don't have to do much of anything. My guess is you're not going to have to worry too much about the actual pitch of the boot. You're going to be worried more about does the profile of the steel fit your game? In other words, are you a straight line fast skater? Are you an agility skater? What is your type of game? So those are some questions to take into consideration. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all I got for you today. At the end of the day, the conclusion is that we think that the Bauer holders have a little bit more inherent forward pitch to them and than the CCM holders do. So maybe that can help guide your decision when you're looking at skates. And maybe don't be afraid to get into CCM skates. Just focus on getting yourself either a new holder or a new profile, and kind of go from there. Anyways, as always, I appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and I'll get back to you like I always do. Peace out.